Since we talked about heresy on the previous one, now let's talk about goddish, or in Japanese, kamiっぽいな. Kami itself means God in Japanese, but in this case, they're not talking about a certain god or a certain religion, as it is stated on the official YouTube video's description, which is, I think, how they're trying to say that this song is not meant to offend any religious belief. The word kami itself is often used as a way to praise someone. Like, for example, when someone is in a really desperate state and then someone came in to help them and they're being very helpful, they're gonna say like, ah, kami-sama da.
本当によかった。
Or they would use this word to express when someone is just really good at something. Poi itself is like a suffix which can be translated into ish or like. So basically it means goddish or godlike. But I think it is meant to be used in a way to praise someone. Na is just like added to describe a noun. So like, for example, when you said famous person, famous is yume, person is hito. When you say famous person, you cannot say yume hito, but you have to say yume na hito. Or when you say safe place, safe is anzen, basho is place. When you say safe place, you have to say anzen na basho. As for the lyric, a little disclaimer, before I make this kind of videos, I always try to read the lyrics and try to understand it myself. But after that, I would look for like YouTube comments or like comments on Vocaloid Lyrics Wiki or anywhere else on like how other people interpret the song. But this time, it's just the song lyrics is a little bit too fake. Everyone seems to have like a very different interpretation. So yeah, this is just my personal one. I think this song is sung in a way that is cynical and satirical, like satire. Like this person is so done with everyone's bullshit, yet they play along by using satire to fulfill their ego or something, or just to criticize them. I also think this person believes that they are smart enough to know those bullshit, like how they say in the lyrics, spoiler for love, breakup-ish. Spoiler for life, death-ish. It's like they're telling people they already know how things will end. And the part that says that's so meaningful and cool sounds pretty much like a sarcasm to me. They also say shike, which is like excuse me, but in a way that is like excuse me for being so rude and so impolite, and combined together, I think the first lines of the songs are like,
I'm so sorry for being rude, but yeah, your heart will break and you don't have to try so hard because your life will end anyway.
This attitude is further enhanced in the second chorus that says, I want you, I want you. It's like my IQ is going down. Like liking this person is so dumb, it makes your IQ go down. And then they continuously praise the other person, like that hair, that eyes, that mouth, that perfume, those clothes, that makeup. And then they say akogare tau, which here is translated as I envy you. But akogare actually means like admire. But I think in this context, it can mean like I envy you because like it is sung in a way like I like you so much, I want to be you so much, I envy you. Like I am so jealous. The part where we already explained the hu part in ifudodo. The hu is the same kanji with wind, which can also mean like air, but in this context can also be translated as ish or like manner. And since the art is someone smoking, I think it's really smart because hu is also like the onomatopoeia for blowing something, like in the first, there's a lyric that says, it's big, your dream, it's big. Profitable, yet graciousness is the end. I think this part kind of criticized every industry ever to exist, because when someone wants to dream big, they'll have to go through the big wall of capitalism, and like everything needs to be profitable, especially for artists and people in the creative industry. More often than not, when they work with like big corporation, their creativity or like their personality or something about them needs to be taken away. Like it needs to be sacrificed. But somehow getting into those big corporation is always like so celebrated, like it's so prestigious, which is why they say way, which is like a yay in Japanese. And there's this part that is repeated a few times that says God is tot. I'm sorry if I butchered the pronunciation. I only learned German for like 1 year. But yeah, this phrase is in Germany, which means God is dead. But it's not just like a line, it is also a very famous and controversial statement from a German philosopher called Friedrich Nietzsche. Again, sorry if I butchered the pronunciation. To sum it up, basically Nietzsche thinks that the further human advance in technology and science, the more rational they are. And the more rational they are, the harder it is for them to believe in God. So God is dead, when in reality, humans need purpose to live. And one of the most global and successful purpose is religion and the concept of afterlife. Without that, we will go in this nihilism state where we would just lose all meanings in life. And then people will just get depressed and find it hard to continue living. Hence, the world would be in chaos. And this might sound sad and depressing, but there's actually more to it that I can't explain. But basically, Nietzsche also says that this can be a good thing because after we go through that phase, we will actually find our very own purpose to live that we can determine ourselves instead of like following like religious belief. In the middle of the song, they suddenly changed the pace into like a fast talk rapping mode, with a voice that is layered with effects that made it a little bit hard to hear. And it says, this part seems like it's criticizing something, like it's questioning this meta thinker, which in this case can be interpreted as anyone with higher status in society, the ones with power or fame, or people with higher intelligence. They basically question, is it your nature to do bad things and to look down to others? And by being in higher position, does that make you change sides so suddenly? And it says like acting like a god by denying God, which to me sounds like these people have like God complex. These people like to put themselves on like a high place when in reality behind the scenes they actually do like horrible things, which is basically denying God. This is my favorite line. A prayer of self-discipline disguised as criticism, which I think is basically mocking people who criticize basically everything, like complain about things they can do themselves if only they have the self-discipline, but they decide to play victim and blame others. Seems this so often, every time, everywhere. And then the song changes pace again to like a slower beat, which I think is genius because the lyrics basically says like, yeah, whatever, I don't want to hear it, I don't understand, we get bored, I'm sleepy. Like when someone is being serious on criticizing things that matter, a lot of people just like close their ears and like, nah, boring. Probably this describes people who just like don't want to know, don't want to hear any criticism. It's like mocking them as the slow ones, which then again continue with another sarcasm. It says, it's tiny, your mind, it's tiny. You're lonely because you're a genius. So cool, how cool. Which then continue with the last chorus that seems more targeted. Since it says that title, that illustration, that story, that music, that song, that melody, this seems to be directed either to other producers or like fans. I don't know. And yeah, the song ends with this person saying like, it's better if I don't know so I can just like enjoy things like everyone did. Basically, ignorance is a bliss, which again aligns with the concept stated by Nietzsche about how the more logical we are, the emptier they will be. Personally, I love this song. This song, when you listen to it from start to finish, just keep getting like pleasures. Like it gives me orgasm, not in a sexual way, but like I would. So yeah, that's my interpretation. Bye-bye.